Hurricane season officially begins today, June 1st, and runs through the end of November. While 2025 was a relatively quiet season in many parts of the country, emergency managers, utilities, schools, hospitals, local governments, and critical infrastructure operators know that it only takes one major storm to create lasting impacts on the community. The costs are in human lives, recovery time, and actual expenses. NOAA's forecast for the 2026 hurricane season calls for another active year, with the potential for above-average storm activity across the Atlantic Basin. Even communities far from the coastline can experience flooding, power outages, infrastructure impacts, and supply chain disruptions from major storm systems. At the federal level, FEMA has now received continued funding, but the agency has also experienced significant staffing turnover and departures over the past year and a half. At the same time, the recently commissioned FEMA Review Council by the White House has signaled a broader shift in philosophy, placing increased responsibility for disaster preparedness and response on state and local governments, with the federal government serving more as a backstop during catastrophic events. In many ways, that approach aligns more closely with FEMA's original intent when the agency was first established in 1979 as a small office inside the Carter White House. Across emergency management, there has also been an increased emphasis on proactive mitigation and resilience investments before disasters occur. Several major funding programs are currently available, including FEMA's Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Program, or BRIC, which prioritizes projects that make long-term financial and resilience sense, as well as flood mitigation assistance grants and multiple firefighter and emergency services grant opportunities. Deadlines are quickly approaching, so get your applications in sooner than later. For local entities, now is also a good time to review and update key operational plans and procedures before storms begin forming. That includes plans for emergency response, hazard mitigation, debris management, emergency procurement, continuity of operations planning, backup communications capabilities, and documentation procedures for tracking disaster-related costs and damages. Organizations should also evaluate vendor contracts, mutual aid agreements, generator and fuel arrangements, cybersecurity protections, and how critical records and infrastructure would be protected during a prolonged disruption. Preparedness is no longer just about responding to storms after they happen. Increasingly, it's about building systems, infrastructure, and operational capabilities that allow communities to recover faster and operate more independently when disasters occur. From all of us at Berquist Recovery Consulting, we encourage organizations to use the start of hurricane season as an opportunity to review plans, identify gaps, and strengthen resilience before the next storm arrives. Also, get those pre-disaster mitigation grant applications moving. I'm Megan Rains from the BRC Disaster Desk. Stay safe this hurricane season.